Hello guys and girls, the lights have just turned green and that means that it's the start of a new series called Sunday Driver. Sunday Driver is the new series that I will be performing. We will go on a wonderful drive either in real life like this episode. This is Snake Pass, the Manchester to Sheffield route, or we will be going in a video game world, be that Grand Theft Auto, Need for Speed, just somewhere you can free drive. It's not going to be a racing series, as you can tell by this careful, thoughtful drive along Snake Pass. This is going to be a nice relaxed drive that will hopefully be as enjoyable for you as it was for me driving through. Snake Pass is, of course, one of the most beautiful roads in the UK. The scenery is fantastic, and that's why I decided for this video to drive at night, so we can just focus on the road aspect and not be bogged down with all the beautiful scenery. Once we've appreciated the road, next time I go on a drive in the day, we'll go back through Snake Pass, and then we can focus on the scenery, and it really is beautiful. You're missing out if you've never seen it before. So this drive is back from a gig I went in Manchester at the Academy. Finished late, and that means a late drive back. This is one of the points where you have to be on your guard, really, with driving. You're tired, perhaps. I wouldn't have drove if I was too tired, obviously, for safety reasons, and that's not what Sunday Driver is about. Sunday Driver is a nice, safe, relaxing drive. The point I was making before I went off track was that it's important to drive when you're awake. We'll dip our headlights actually because there's a car coming up shortly. Always dip your headlights. It's just polite, you know, to do with the full beam on, obviously. If I had just had my daylights on, no problem. Don't worry about that. But when you've got your and even, you know, your night lights, but if you've got your high beams on, just dim those like I've just done. Car goes through, stick them back on again. There we go. So that's just one of the driving techniques I adhere to, and I hope that everyone does too. Just past a little car park on the left hand side there with a car in it. Not sure what they're doing at this time. Maybe a midnight stroll. Maybe they're having some late night fun. Who knows? We're not going to pry. We're going to keep driving. So this is, as I say, a beautiful little road. The fun aspect is that it's very windy. It's a long and winding road, but it's an enjoyable drive. You really have to keep your wits about you because the road challenges even the most experienced of drivers. It's like a rally course, really. You drive around each corner, but rather than someone telling you what type of corner it is on a grade of 1 to 6, is that right? Leave a comment down below. Is that right for rally driving? 3, right. I'm going based off Colin McRae rally from PlayStation 1 days, so that could be either outdated or incorrect just because of memory. My memory is not the best, unfortunately, but still enough to spark a discussion maybe. So yes, there's lots of corners. The speed limit is 50 miles an hour on this particular road. That's plentiful. You don't really want to be going more than that. There are some maniacs who overtook me, not this occasion. That would be even less sensible at night than it was in the day when they did. but they really are going to get themselves killed. It's insane. There are very few stretches where you can go above 50 safely. Not that I did, just, there's, 2 or 3 long stretches of road for overtaking. And even then, I mean, most of this is cornering. You can't see it safely enough around corners to overtake on this road. The corners are incredibly good fun. They're all different, they're all challenging. You have to drop to 15, 20 miles an hour for some of them. There are some bridges. Have we passed those bridges yet? Not sure. Maybe they're yet to come. But those are some great little bridges to go along. Oh, you see him. What a fast car. But what a beautiful road. Highly recommended. So get yourselves down, wherever you live in the world, and go on a nice little drive through Snake Pass. So in the wonderful Peak District. It's beautiful scenery, beautiful walks if you want to go on a walk. I highly recommend it. There's some lovely walks in the peaks. Not just along, Snake Pass area, but just generally all over the place. Go for a walk anyway, you won't be disappointed. Oh, here we go. Here's the slow corners across some bridges, I believe, coming up to. There's quite a drop, which is why there's a wall on the right hand side. If you go down there, you are kaput. That's like, do you remember Captain Scarlet, where the car goes off the side of the bridge road area, falls down and explodes? That's exactly what happens. Or in, your good old-fashioned car chase movies. If there isn't a car goes off the edge of a cliff and explodes at the bottom, you're really doing something wrong. That's, just get it sorted. So, what else has been happening in the world of Alex, I hear you cry? Eagerly awaiting a response. Well, let me tell you now, I've been playing a game called Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn's been a fun game. I've really enjoyed it. The more I've put into that game, the more I've got out of it as well. It's a little bit tough to begin with. But overall, it's just a fun experience. The combat is particularly good. Each machine has different strategies you can use to take it down. One of my favourites is one of the larger beasts has a cannon that it fires at you with. You can tear that cannon off the beast, mechanical beast that is, grab that cannon and then use it against them for massive damage. So it's pulling that off's not easy, but it's very good fun. And when you do, it's just a lovely experience. You feel so powerful, which is one of the game's real strengths, is that each beast robot thing is a challenge in and of itself, and you don't come across one and take it down lightly. These are tough battles, especially in the early game. The game is designed to give you options to fight all these things straight away. It's an open world game, but it's really recommended to sort of take these challenges on as you level up and become more accustomed to the controls. So I've been really enjoying that. The story's great. It reminds me a little bit of Lost in its presentation. There's a mystery to be solved. It's a very intriguing premise, and finding out how the world has become how it is just as exciting as living in the world. It's really good science fiction, and I highly recommend it. I'm playing through the story at the moment. I've got to the final chapter, I believe, which I'm going to enjoy, but not until I've done a few of the side quests. And the side quests are very interesting, actually. So I've managed, you find things that hint you towards other things. So, for example, I found a power cell, which I've used to get some special armor. Not an easy task to do, because you have to find these things, which are mostly you come across as you play the game. But there was one that eluded me early on, and I can't believe I missed it. But now I've completed that challenge, and it's been really good fun. You can tell a game's good when, aside from the story, you want to also complete the side quests. And the side quests are largely entertaining. The main story is the drive of the game, as it should be. But overall, just the finding resources and crafting and getting your weapons upgraded is all entertaining. Although there's perhaps a little bit too much resource gathering at times, especially for health. I feel like I have to constantly look for these little shrubs that give you health that you can use later on. You just add them to your health pouch. But I'm constantly having to find more of them. Perhaps now I've got better at the game, it won't be as much as a problem as I lose less health. But particularly at times it felt like all I was doing was resource gathering, which wasn't the drive for me for the game. So negative, I would say, would be the resource gathering and the reliance on that. And the abundance of collectibles. Again, can you get collectibles out of your game, guys? It's not entertaining. It's not Banjo-Kazooie or Ukulele or anything like that, where simply the act of navigating and grabbing these collectibles is enjoyable in and of itself. The enjoyable part of navigating the map in Horizon Zero Dawn is that it's a beautiful place to look at, and you get from destination to destination through it. But I don't want to be looking around every stone for collectibles. No, thank you. Otherwise, great game. Looking forward to completing that. And that's my task after this. I'm going to go and sit down for the evening, boot up Horizon Zero Dawn, and just have a beautiful time. Just passing a lot of trees at the moment. There's some wonderful little valleys you go through on this road. It's a wonderful little drive. And it doesn't let up throughout. It only gets more and more intense as your concentration needs to be kept at a peak for the entire duration, which is approximately 20 minutes. Hence the video length. So, moving on, I've also been playing Hearthstone. Surprise, surprise. But Hearthstone's been very good with the latest expansion. I've got a couple of decks that I'm working on at the moment. What's the one? There's a spell damage mage one. Can't remember the name of it. One of the pre-made decks that I've customized because I don't have all the cards. I need the legendary weapon to get that really working at its full potential. But so far, I've just been enjoying playing that one, learning the mechanics of it. I just run out of steam because I don't have the draw that the weapon gives you. And that's a fundamental for that deck. So my objective is to gather dust from quests over the next few weeks, craft that weapon, and then enjoy that deck as much as I can. I've also been playing Mechathune Druid, which is really good fun as well. I got the legendary for that, which I was really chuffed at because I really wanted to play it. I've not been playing competitive play. I've been playing more casual games as I learn how to use it properly. But what a card, what a deck, and it's just great fun. The other deck I've been playing recently is a rogue deck, Necro something or other, where you have to set off death rattles, basically. Set the death rattle off with a cheap spell, and you get a nice, expensive, powerful minion from that. Basically, learning how to set all those up, what combos you can use, and it's just been immense fun, really. I've got about 3 quests to do, so I'm going to have to try and fit that in as well today. What a busy day. It's just been a nightmare of things to do. In real life, I've actually had a couple of gates put in the back garden, which is nice. And I've been cleaning the house, which I have neglected a little bit recently. Cleaning's never fun when you've got games to play and videos to make. But unfortunately, it needs to be done. So far, so good with that. Done a lot of hoovering, a lot of pot washing, a lot of clothes washing. I feel accomplished in a way. It's made the house a lot nicer as it does. I've still got a dusting session to complete, but I've lost motivation for that one. If you'll excuse me 1 second. But it was the neighbour's door, so nothing to worry about there. As we go along this road, having a great time here. Look at all this interesting foliage. Recently on a trip through Snake Pass, the opposite direction, came across a lot of sheep. The sheep were in the middle of the road, worrying as hell, because people do drive recklessly, not sensibly like myself. And I was worried that this sheep would get hit. It's just a nightmare, really, because you don't want to get hit these poor little sheep. But they will walk in the middle of the road, sometimes on the verge. I'm sure they could jump in, but they never seem to have much good road sense. I don't know if you can get classes for them, or whether the farmers are just too tight to send them to these road schools. But surely that should be mandatory for all sheep. And lots of sheep do travel via road, which is worrying, really, that they therefore have road sense. I've seen a magpie go into the middle of the road before, but they know to fly out of the way when a car's coming. Sheep, no such thing. Just look it round, look a little bit worried, gallop away. Trot, gallop, don't know what sheeps do. But however they move, they do not move out of the way of the car, which is a nightmare as a driver, because you really don't want to be hitting anything. We're probably coming up near the end of the road now. We come up to Derwent Dam, I think it's called. And that signifies the end of Snake Pass. Some lovely walks in that area, if you can, and a wonderful little pub as well near the traffic lights. If you ever get a chance to visit the peaks, which I highly recommend, as I've said perhaps before, just run down to the peaks, have a pint, go for a walk, a nice long walk as well, then go back to the pub, settle down for some lovely food, another pint, and then get yourself off home. Assuming you're not driving, of course. Don't have those pints of beer if you are driving. That's not cool either. Come on, guys. Oh yes, there we go. So we're coming across just past the sign there. I don't know if you saw it. It was, very quick. But we should be coming up to the dam, which I believe is on the right-hand side now. You can't see it very well, but did you see the concrete wall at the side? That's where the dam rests. Flying through there. We'll come up to some traffic lights shortly, and that was that, guys. Oh, maybe we haven't come up to it yet. Maybe I've been a bit hasty there. But I'll say my goodbyes now, and let you enjoy the rest of the drive. Thanks for joining me on this epic journey. It's been really good fun. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Here we go. Here's the traffic lights. There's the end of the Snake Pass. And red. Unfortunately, that's the signification of the end of our journey, which I hope you've enjoyed. I've certainly enjoyed it myself. You can see my indicator there in the sign for the eagle-eyed viewer. And we continue our journey away. Thanks for joining me, guys. Take care.